Unified WWE Universal Champion Riddle. Nah, I'm still not feeling it. I'm Chris Wolvie, the wrestling vlogger who always tells it like it is. 3.5 and 2.5 for In Your House. Thought Breaker would win by DQ, so that's half a win. But 6 and 1 for Hell in a Cell. Yeah, baby! So 9.5 and 3.5 for the weekend. You know, they should have these 2 PLEs a weekend thing more often. My average would be much better. Anyway, back to the thought experiment. Unified WWE Universal Champion Riddle. No, I just can't get myself to say that enough times to be comfortable with it. I mean, Riddle wasn't even good enough for the NXT Championship. Even the North American title was beyond his grasp. Not to mention that in pursuit of the Undisputed Tag Team Championships, he lost not 1, but 2 partners to injury. This lucky penny ain't nothing but bad luck this year. And yet, Sami Zayn had to open his big conspiracy theory loving mouth and say he could beat Riddle out of SmackDown for good, as long as Riddle got a title shot against Roman Reigns should Zayn fail. And man, did he fail. Oh, he had Riddle on the ropes for a good while, but apparently Randy Orton taught Riddle how to do the RKO out of nowhere move to stop Zayn from toppling him with the Helluva Kick. To quote Freddie Blassie, Zayn's been a one-man no-good losing streak for quite some time. He's no pencil neck geek, but though geeks don't win titles like Zayn did in the past. So the only good news is that Roman Reigns finally defends his title, or both titles I should say, for the first time since winning them at WrestleMania. The bad news is that it won't be at a PLE, but rather on the next SmackDown. But you know, the thought of Riddle even leaving with one of those titles, it just doesn't ring with me. But from what I've heard, it was far from out of the question. Leading up to the Royal Rumble, the rumors were flying that Riddle was actually supposed to win said Rumble match, challenge either Reigns or the WWE Champion for the title at WrestleMania, and actually win. Instead, they had Brock Lesnar sneak in at number 30 and win it after losing the WWE title, have him win back the WWE title at WrestleMania at Elimination Chamber, and then challenge Reigns to the title for title match. The middle part I could have done without, truth be told. I still see no reason for the 2 primary titles to stay unified, especially since Reigns hasn't even shown up to Raw but for once since unifying them. The brand split is not ending. I told you that 2 weeks ago. Sooner or later, Reigns will have to either defend the unified title on Raw or defend each title separately and lose one to a Raw superstar. But, you know, back on point. I looked at Riddle during his heyday in NXT, watched him inaugurate the fight pit that was used only once more and then probably will never be used again. I saw him hold the NXT tag titles with 2 partners, each one that abandoned him with one way or another. And when he was called up to the main roster, I felt he might have a shot at a secondary title, or at worst the 24/7 title. And sure enough, he was United States Champion for a few months later. I felt that was as good as he was going to get. Then he started making overtures to Randy Orton to become a tag team, and lo and behold, they made a pretty decent one at the start. Yeah, they argued, but who wouldn't argue with Riddle when he went full-on Spicoli on you, right? But through it all, they managed to win the Raw tag titles twice. But after losing said belts to the Usos, Riddle has been headhunting the Bloodline for revenge. And I guess his idea was to chop the head off the snake by beating the head of the table for his precious belts. I mean, 10 out of 10 for bravery, but Minus several million for smarts. Does he not know that Reigns has his cousins as backup should he need it? Sure, he hasn't needed it in a long time, but always nice to know the family's around to help out, right? Who does Riddle have to help? Both Orton and Shinsuke Nakamura are on the DL, and though Orton could come back at any time to get his revenge on the Bloodline, Nakamura doesn't really have a dog in this fight. He has nothing against Reigns or the Usos personally, I'm sure. Look, the point is, if Riddle somehow, some way, ends up on the winning side of the title match, either A, it'll be by disqualification when the Usos or Sami Zayn run interference and get Reigns disqualified, or B, the rumor started before Royal Rumble will finally come true. And if it is B, then I might as well throw up my hands concerning the WWE, because there's no way I can stomach even thinking the words Unified WWE Universal Champion Riddle. That would be too much for me to take, bro. I'm Chris Wolvie, the wrestling vlog who always tells it like it is. Stay safe, pray for peace, and I'll see you